She's watching your story at 2 a.m., not texting you, not calling. But there she is, viewing every single post within minutes of you uploading it. What changed? You stopped chasing her. It's like she has some sixth sense that alerts her the exact moment you truly let go. Not when you're playing hard to get, when you're genuinely done. That's when something shifts in the universe, and suddenly, the person who couldn't be bothered to reply to your texts is now studying your every move from the shadows. Today, I'm going to show you the psychological phenomenon that happens when you become the man she can't reach anymore, and why your absence hits harder than your presence ever could. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you felt truly powerful in a relationship? Not fake powerful where you're pretending not to care while your heart's racing every time your phone buzzes. I'm talking about that deep, unshakable power that comes from knowing your worth isn't negotiable. Most men never experience this because they're too busy explaining themselves, chasing validation and making someone else the center of their universe. But there's a different way. A way that doesn't involve games, manipulation, or pretending to be someone you're not. This is about the transformation that happens when you stop living for her approval and start living for your own evolution. It's about becoming so focused on your own growth that her attention becomes irrelevant. And ironically, that's exactly when you become irresistible. Here's what most guys get wrong. They think closure comes through explanation. Wrong. The moment you stop explaining yourself, stop sending those long paragraphs about how you felt, stop trying to make her understand your perspective, something in her psychology shifts. She was expecting your confusion. She was prepared for your emotional reactions, your attempts to win her back. But silence, complete unexplained silence, that rattles her to her core. See, when you were explaining yourself, you were giving her reassurance that she made the right choice. Your pain validated her power. Your confusion confirmed her control. But when you say nothing, when you don't try to convince her how good you were, she's left alone with her decision, and that's terrifying for her. Your lack of reaction becomes the question that echoes in her mind. Did he actually care? Did I matter to him at all? That confusion is louder than any words you could have spoken. It forces her to sit with the weight of her choice without the comfort of your validation. The most powerful thing you can do after someone walks away, let them walk into silence. You didn't even notice it happening, but somewhere along the way she became your sun. Your entire world started revolving around her energy. Your schedule bent around her moods. Your self-worth rose and fell with her attention levels. And that's exactly when she lost respect for you. Not because you cared. Caring isn't the problem. The problem was that you disappeared inside of her reality. You stopped being a whole person and became an extension of her emotional state. The moment you place your life back at the center, your goals, your peace, your routines, your dreams, she feels the absence of that emotional worship she got used to. She was comfortable being your gravitational pull, having you orbit around her unpredictable energy, but now you've cut that gravity. Suddenly, she's floating in space, wondering where she fits in a world where she's no longer your everything. The pull she felt before, your constant attention, your emotional availability, your willingness to drop everything for her, has reversed. Now she's the one wondering where she stands. She's the one feeling the uncertainty. She's the one whose emotional state depends on your attention, and you're nowhere to be found. Not every woman texts you directly when she wants your attention. The smart ones send signals, cryptic social media posts, stories with hidden meanings, strategic likes on old photos, subliminal messages disguised as casual updates. They're not reaching out. They're checking if you'll bite. And here's what most guys don't understand. Every time you respond to that energy, even silently, even just by viewing her story or reacting to her posts, she knows she still has real estate in your mind. But when you stop reading into it, when you stop decoding her passive signals and simply don't care anymore, the silence becomes deafening for her. Not because she wanted to talk, because she wanted to control the dynamic from a distance. She wanted to know she could still pull your strings without having to commit to actual communication. She wanted to confirm that you were still dancing to her invisible puppet show. When you stop performing in her psychological theater, when you stop reading between the lines of her carefully crafted social media posts, that's when real power shifts. That confusion she feels when her signals go unanswered, that's not your problem anymore. That's her learning what it feels like when someone doesn't hang on her every digital breadcrumb. You used to hand out your energy like free samples at a grocery store. Your time, attention, emotional investment, all freely given to anyone who showed the slightest interest. But here's what separates memorable men from forgettable ones. A man she remembers forever is the one who made his presence feel like a privilege, not a given. The day you stop being easily accessible, emotionally, mentally, physically, is the day she starts noticing the space where you used to be. This isn't about playing hard to get or being artificially unavailable. This is about recognizing that your peace is sacred, your energy is your life force, your attention is your currency, your emotional investment is your most valuable asset. And when you stop giving these things to someone who never earned them, two things happen. They either wake up to what they lost or they get left behind. Either way, you win. Because now your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. Your selective availability becomes more attractive than your constant accessibility ever was. Your boundaries become more magnetic than your flexibility ever felt. When someone realizes they can't just access you whenever it's convenient for them, they start to understand your actual worth. And if they don't, well, that tells you everything you need to know. Remember when you used to drop everything for her? Miss workouts to comfort her drama? Skip important plans to be her emotional support system? Change your entire vibe just to accommodate her unpredictable emotional weather? Those days are over. Now you wake up and execute your morning ritual. You chase your purpose with laser focus. You hit the gym regardless of her energy. You handle your business whether she's having a good day or melting down about some manufactured crisis. And here's the beautiful part. If she fits into that rhythm naturally, great. If not, you keep moving. That kind of consistency is magnetic because she's not used to men who don't shift their entire lives around her availability. She expected you to pause your journey every time she needed something, but you kept climbing. The higher you rise without looking back, the more she feels left behind, not out of spite but out of natural consequence. You no longer bend your life to be chosen by someone who couldn't choose you when it mattered. Your routine becomes your sanctuary. Your consistency becomes your strength. Your unwillingness to break your own rules for someone who broke your heart becomes your superpower. Here's where most guys get trapped. They need her to understand. They need her to see their hurt, to acknowledge what she did, to validate their pain with her recognition. But needing her to understand keeps you chained to her opinion. True freedom comes when you don't care if she ever gets it. You understand yourself. You know what you gave. You know what it cost you. And that's enough. You're no longer living to be seen by her, you're living to be free from her. And here's the twist that'll blow your mind. The moment you stop seeking her understanding is exactly when she starts trying to explain herself. Your silence forces her to fill the blanks you no longer need answered. She starts justifying decisions she never had to justify before. She starts questioning choices she was confident about. She starts explaining herself to the space where you used to be, hoping somehow her words will reach the man who no longer needs to hear them. Your indifference becomes her obsession. Your peace becomes her chaos. Your freedom becomes her prison. So here's your truth, brother. This was never about getting her to text first. It was about who you become when she doesn't. It's not your silence that shakes her, it's the fact that this time it's real. You're not holding your breath. You're not watching your phone. You're not waiting anymore. You finally turn back inward. And that shift hits her harder than your presence ever could. Here's what I want you to do right now. Look in the mirror and make this declaration. I don't wait. I evolve. Because that's who you are now. Someone who lets her feel your absence while you focus on your glow-up. Someone who lets her watch your transformation from whatever distance she chose. The man she left, he's gone. The man you're becoming doesn't chase anyone. He attracts by becoming irresistible to himself first. Drop I don't wait. I evolve in the comments if this hits something deep in your soul. Because that's not just a phrase, that's your new identity. Let her realize too late that the man she walked away from has transformed into someone she could never walk away from again.